Creative Juice by Lonnie with you today. And do you ever wonder what adhesive should I be using? What should I be using to create cards or scrapbook pages or paper crafting projects? There's just so many of them out there. Well, today we're going to answer all those questions. Thank you for joining me, whether you are coming live or watching this on replay. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your sharing this with other people, as well as subscribing if you're on my YouTube channel. So thank you and welcome. I love hearing what you have to say, what you're making, and what your questions are. So if you have questions about adhesive today, let's talk about them. We're going to be making a cute birthday card for my daughter, actually. Today, I'm going to move this over just a little bit so you can see a little more of there you go, of what's going on right here. So we're using the Wildflower Birthday Suite, which consists of a photopolymer stamp set and coordinating dies, and the dies actually don't fit necessarily all these words, but they have numbers, which is so very handy from lots of different celebrations, a little banner, some tassels, some more banners, all sorts of fun things that you can use. So we'll be using a couple of these today. I'm going to pull out the 3 and the 4 since she's turning 34 this year, and this banner. It also has in this suite the beautiful Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper, and it has double-sided paper with a little bit of bling. Can you see that gold foil showing up when I turn it just a bit? So it really is fun for a celebration and very feminine. So this one would be great to use together. Well, hello, Inika. It's good to see you. And Carlene, love to have you here, both of you here as well. One of the fun things about this designer series paper is that it also includes a bunch of, oops, let me just bump you there, a bunch of pre-cut die cuts, all ready for you to use, things like banners and birthday cakes and balloons and cupcakes. So we'll be using a little bit of all of that. So this fun fold starts with a piece of 8.5 by, I'm looking for where's my bone folder? It's over here. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know where it's at. Maybe it's over here. Yes, it is. 8.5 by 5.5 paper cardstock. So you've got your basic card here. And then I have a 5.25 by 3.5 piece of the same color. We're going to do a little scoring on this to make this fun fold pop up in the middle when we open it up. So we're going to score this one. Do you guys like fun folds? Do you like surprises when you open up the card? Then this is the right place to be. We're going to score this. Let's go this way. At 3/4 of an inch. Don't use your cutting blade. I always have to remind myself. 3/4 of an inch. 1.5 inches. 2.25, so it's every 3/4 of an inch right here, and then 3 inches. All right, pretty easy so far. This is where I knew I would need my bone folder, so you want to give those all a real crisp fold. This is the piece that helps things pop up inside our card. And I just made one of these for my sister for her birthday, and I decided I need to make one for my daughter too. So I'm doing both. Now you can see that it's going to fold together nicely. This 1/2 inch strip that we had at the end, so everything else is 3/4 inch, and then we have a little 1/2 inch strip at the end. We're going to use our tear and tape. Just like any kind of job that you may be doing in the garden, in the yard, in your house, you've got the tools that make it easier. So adhesive is one of those tools. This particular tear and tape, you don't have to have scissors. You can just put it on, but it's a very sticky adhesive, and it has a paper covering on this side, so we're going to remove that. This is really good for things that are 3D, any 3D objects that you want to hold on really well. So I'm going to just fold over 2 of my folds. I've got my 1/2 inch turned over like this. So you've got 2 of the 3/4 inches right here, 2 of the 3/4 inches right here, and we're just going to fold it over. We're creating a tube, a square tube like that. This square tube is going to go right inside our card. So you can use the tear and tape again, or you could use our Stampin' Seal Plus. Some of the adhesive is really up to what your personal preference is, but sometimes it's very important to have the right adhesive. So either the tear and tape again, you're going to put it on the one that's, I have mine folded so that the edge is right here. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way so you can't see that edge, but it's going to go like this. We're going to put it inside here, and on this 3/4 inch piece that is closest to the center of the card, we're going to run a piece of Seal Plus, and make sure that it's just kind of lined up inside there. And it's just, this tube is slightly smaller than your card, the card base, so you'll have a little piece at the top right here and a little piece at the bottom right here. You could go all the way to the edge, but I just find that I don't have to worry about it. So it's stuck to the front of the card. Now I want to glue this edge that's to the down to the back of the card. Oh, now one thing that you're going to find sometimes with your Seal Plus, it may grab onto your paper and pull the fibers off. So go slow. That's the key with Seal Plus. Slow and steady. So I'm just going to close that up again. I did it right on the 3/4 inch section closest to the center. Now look what happens when I open it up. So you've got that little piece like that. Hello, Kara. Yes, we always love a fun fold. Okay. Fun fold is the easy way to do it. Now you can decorate this however you want. The other very important thing that you'll need, and we'll be talking more about adhesive, don't forget, are 3 pieces. And I've cut mine, they're all 3 inches wide, finished. And then this one is 2, yes, I had to check and see, 2 inches tall. So the piece of paper that I stamped on in the center is 1/4 inch smaller all the way around, 2 by 3. So the paper is 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then I have 2 that are 1.5 inches tall by 3 inches long total. Okay. These we're going to attach on the inside of our card, again on this little piece that comes up and down. I'm going to put one right to the top of my tube. I guess that's the best way to call it. Again, you could use sticky strip. Let's use a little bit of sticky strip, and we only want it to go on the piece that is, let me think about this, hold on. I actually want this one on the other side now that I think about it. Here's the beautiful thing, sticky strip comes right off too. Sometimes when you need to, when you realize, oh, I've made a mistake. Okay, we'll take that off. Slowly but surely it will come off. Okay, so this one, I actually want to adhere to this side. And then this one, I want to adhere to this side. And then this one, I'm going to adhere to that side. So if I had to stop and think about it, I'm going to put adhesive on this side of this piece. I could probably get 2 pieces on in that 3/4 inch section. Take off the top of it. And I'm going to go right at the top like this. So you can see it's going to open up like that. Now here's a little tip. You do not want these pieces to be longer than 3 3¼ inch total, because when you close your card, you don't want them to stick out of the side. Okay, so this one is going to go on like this, right underneath it. Let's use our seal for that because it's a little faster, as long as I remember to go slow. I think I could almost get 2 pieces there too. We just really want it to come on there. And I'm going to leave a tiny little gap, not a big gap, just a tiny little gap between the bottom of one and the top of the another. Just so when they're closing, they're just easy to come in and out like that. See how fun? Okay, the last one is we're gonna adhere on this side, behind that side again. Okay. And this one's gonna go at the bottom, right down here. Happily, because I can see I need a little more space, I'm just gonna move that down, and it is repositionable for a moment, so we're going to really give that a nice, good push. All right, let me see, you guys. So now when you open up this card, you have, this goes in 3 different directions. We've got a happy birthday, hooray, make a wish. Let's add a little something to the make a wish part. And this actually could almost lay flat, but not quite, so I don't force it to do that. We're going to use some of our die cuts from the paper, and I want it to be like this. Perfect. I think it's going to be great. This time I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals. Now, dimensionals come in 2 different sizes, as well as a black version where you get some of each. You can get your small dimensionals, or you can use your large dimensionals, and it just does exactly what it sounds like. It adds a little bit of dimension. This one will make it stand off the background. So if I put this one right here, it says make a wish. I want to decorate that with a little, because we're going to put some flowers on the front, I'm going to add a little tiny, what is this, floral spray. And this time I'm going to use a glue dot. Glue dots are great for adding tiny things that you don't want to get your fingers messy with. All right, I think we'll just add a little flower right there. Cute. So now it folds up like this, flat. You can add on the inside. We've started with our inside today rather than our outside. We're going to use regular seal, and you don't need a lot of seal when you are putting something on the inside, so I'm only going to put it at the top and the bottom. This is a regular seal, and it's a little easier to use. It's the one that I suggest for beginners. And this is a 3 by 5.5, no, 5 1/4 panel, so that I can write on it right back there. So that's the inside, pretty much all done. Seal and Seal Plus both are refillable containers. So once you have the container, you can simply pull it apart. You're going to take out this section and throw it away, and then bring in a new section. You'll see the 2 posts in the bottom of the container. You're going to put your new refill right on top. So once you have the Seal or the Seal Plus, they are actually interchangeable as far as you could put the Seal Plus refill into the Seal refill, or the Seal case. It doesn't matter. They're just very easy, and they don't cause a lot of mess. That's what I like. I don't have glue getting on my fingers, but sometimes people there are some of my friends who only use this. This is what we call green glue. It's actually the multi-purpose liquid glue, and it has 2 sides. It has a finer point, I should say, and then one that can smear the adhesive. It's kind of a flat side all over something that you want to adhere. So let's say that we wanted to adhere some designer series paper to the front of our card. Let's see if I've got any glue in this one. Oh yes, I do. So you can put a big glob down there like this if you would like to. And this one these are all archival, so you can use them for scrapbooking, whereas things like double-sided tape are not, and they eventually have acid in them. So whether you're using them on cards or on, ooh, that one really needs to be cleaned up, it looks like, on cards or scrapbook pages, double-sided tape eventually will turn, wiping off my fingers. It will eventually turn brittle and brown, and will some of the acid leaks through into either your paper or your photos, which really ruins them. So not very fun. This piece of the designer series paper, I think, is a 1/2 inch smaller than the front of my card. And that's why, this is why I don't use this one quite as much, but I do, it is handy for a lot of other fine things that need to have a little bit of wiggle room, because sometimes you can put it on and kind of wiggle it as well. What's your favorite glue? Do you have a glue that you like, adhesive that you like the most? Okay, so Inika says you like the green glue. And sometimes the double-sided tape, we call that tear and tape. You can just tear that one, yes. And, oh good, glad that Kara says she is making a birthday card for her daughter too, because our daughters are really close in age, actually. They grew up together in the same neighborhood, and that was fun. That is fun. Okay, so we've got the front of our card kind of started. Let's decorate this with a couple of other fun things, and we'll use some more different types of adhesive as well. I've die cut one of these, and I want to die cut. This is what I cut it out of. This was a 2 1/4 inch piece of that patterned paper. But what I want is this little piece right here. I'm going to show you a fun way to layer. Top of my die cut. So I'm going to put my die cut on like this, and I'm going to just cut it down from there. I'm doing that because this die cut has, it has little, I've turned my thing over, sorry. It has tiny little perforations, kind of a stitched edge. Can you see that? And I want that to continue down to the bottom of my card where I'm putting this. I could go like this, I guess, doesn't matter. All I'm trying to get is the edges to be the same. So let's see if we can do that. We'll die cut that out with our mini cut and emboss. Oof, and it moved. If you need to use a little bit of washi tape to hold it down, definitely helps to keep it in place. Okay, I want that to be on top of my platform, so let's do that. For today, I have to squint to see what you're saying because it's a very bright day and I can't see the comments. So, yes, it really does depend on what the use is. So here's my other piece. Take off my washi tape. So I have this piece and I have this piece, and I kind of wanted them to have that little, let me see if I can show you better here. Here you go. So you can kind of see how you've got this fun point. There's a couple of little hairs on this one. I'm just going to cut off that were on the side. I'll just probably pull them off. There you go. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put this one, in fact, I think I'm just going to go right down the center like this. So I need a little piece right here. I want this to look like this banner is going all the way up this card. So let's put a little adhesive on using seal. Put a little bit right here. I'm going to cut this one in half. What I have is I've punched out a 2 inch and a 2 3/8 of an inch circle that is going to be oh, somewhere about right there, so I can see that I can cut off right here in the center. Let's see if that'll give me enough. So I'm going to put this one at the top. And, oh, that reminds me of something I wanted to show you. See if it's going to give me enough space. Oh, I think it will. Yep. Okay. I can see where I need to move this up a little bit, and this is going to move up a little bit. This is one of the reasons I love the seal, because you can say, nope, got to move it up a bit. All right, that should do it, I think. Let's see, before I push them down, let's see. I want it to appear like I've got it going all the way from the top to the bottom, even though it's just a faux banner. You can see that. All right. Okay, that's looking good. Actually, I think I'm going to move it up even more. Okay. If you need to make it even, just pull in something like this so you know that it's about the same spot. There we go. That's good enough. Okay, I can take this part off. That's the bottom, that's the top. This is going to go in the center here in just a second. But first of all, let's do our numbers. So another one of our adhesives that I love to use are the adhesive sheets. This is a double-sided adhesive in a 12 by, I don't know how much this is, 6 by 12 piece of paper. And when I get it, I usually just draw on it with a Sharpie on the back. So I know that this is going to be the piece that I peel off. And so if I've die cut something, I know that this is the piece I need to take off the back. All right. So, remind me, I'm going to tell you, before I go on to this one, I'm going to tell you this while I'm remembering it, because I always get to the end and forget. Sometimes if you are getting a lot of goobery stuff or stringy stuff inside your seal, you'll see right here, sometimes some of the adhesive gets stuck right up here. Make sure you clean that out occasionally so that it doesn't pull your tape apart. You can use a little bit of alcohol to get that out as well, to wipe it out, and so that it doesn't keep catching on the glue that's stuck to the top. There's that was my hint that I wanted to remember to tell you. Okay, getting my other sticky part off my finger though is the trick. Whew, okay, so this one I want to do a little bit of shading really quick. Before I cut out my numbers, I want this to look have an ombre effect. So I'm starting with my small blending brush and Pool Party ink. I'm going to put a piece of paper under here so I don't make a mess and have to wipe it up. Start off the edge here, and I'm going to just kind of go from the bottom. You always, when you're blending, start off your edge of your paper and then come up, so that you have an ombre effect, kind of ombre. Ombre, I guess, is Spanish. Ombre is what we're trying to do here. Okay, and I want it to kind of fade into white on the top. And I may even add, let's just try a little bit of Night of Navy. I don't know how this will work, but these are some of the colors from the paper, so I'm hoping it will. Let's see if I just want to add a little bit of Night of Navy down here to make it darker. Oh, I kind of like it. Okay, I'm hoping that I added enough of my Pool Party up here, so we'll just add a little bit more. Okay, now I've got the basis for what I'm going to cut out. Yeah, it doesn't always. The Kara says, thank you for showing the bling on the paper. Sometimes it doesn't show up as well. All right. Uh, I love that. She says she's going to go put some Sharpie on the back of her adhesive sheets right now. It really does help. All right, let's do some. I'm going to cut out my numbers out of this one. So it says 34, doesn't really matter, but you can see you can place it wherever you want on your piece that you have colored. I'm going to go like this so I get a little bit of all of that color. And because the adhesive, because I have the Sharpie on the back, I also know which part I need to cut from. You're going to cut from the top and leave the adhesive sheet on the back. Take those off. You'll be able to see how cool that looks. I'm glad I put some of that that darker color on the bottom. So we're going to layer these up. There is one other kind of adhesive that Stampin' Up! Carries that I don't think we've talked about yet, and that is this fine tip glue pen. I'm going to be honest, I hate it. I hate it, and I don't use it. So there's my hot take for today. I do not like that, and it just is a pain in the patootie. Now, some people, you tell me if you have a different opinion, because I'm open to other opinions, and maybe you have a tip for me, but I don't love it. I would rather use the fine tip on my liquid glue than that fine tip glue pen any day. It's just hard to get out of the thing, and well. All right, so we've got our 34. Let's see, does Danica have a hint? Oh, WD-40 would be a great idea to move your adhesive. Yep, adhesive on things. So you've got 34 ready to go on the front of my card. Let's make it so that it looks like we planned this. I just want my circle to cover up where the two pieces are disconnected, and then I'm going to put this on with another little dimensional, a couple of dimensionals here. Dimensionals have foam underneath them and then a piece of paper on top to remove, and then you just add that to the top. Somewhere over here I also had some flowers. I think I'm going to put them on. I don't know where I'm going to put them on. Maybe right over here. There we go. So this time I'm going to put a little glued or a dimensional on one side of my flower and a glue dot on the other side of my flower. Another thing that glue dots are great for is ribbon. So if you've made a little ribbon, I always like to touch my element to the glue dot. So you touch that element to your glue dot on the thing, and then you can just add a bow to wherever you'd like. So here's my glue dot, and here's my dimensional. Moving that back up so you guys can see. There we go. And then we'll put the yellow one on like this, maybe. Okay, that looks good. Doesn't really matter. This is just all extra fluff and stuff. But there is the completed front of my card. I know, side note. How are we? We aren't old enough to have 30 children who are 34 years old. Just totally crazy. So there's our card. You can see that. Now, one of the things, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, Paper Pumpkin is a monthly craft kit that comes to your door, and it does have some of the glue dots, but they come on a sheet, and it has paper. It comes on a plastic sheet with paper on top of each of the dots, so you can remove the paper on the top and then press your element to that, or you can use your snips to easily get underneath those little tiny glue dots like this and lift them up. You can also use your take your pick tool, if you have a take your pick tool, and you can use either the stylus end or the pointed end right here that's just kind of comes in and out. You can change out the ends to your take your pick tool and use whatever attachment that you need to pick up those little adhesive bits as well. Oh, one other thing I forgot to put on here. Ta-da! I remember that this one says that I had made a 34th so that I could make sure that she knew. Oh, my little bow is still stuck there to the end of my thing. Remember that you can use the edges of your dimensionals and get even more out of it. I saw somebody once throw away all of the edges because they had used the honeycomb pieces, and I was like, stop, you have all of those pieces you could use. All right, so there we go, 34th. For her 34th birthday, hooray, happy birthday, make a wish. Kind of fun, isn't it? Ooh, you're right, the gold does not show up. It does not show up as well. So, yeah. And Inika loves the card, so that means that I must have done something right today. And so does Carlene. Thank you both. But it's just fun. It's kind of a fun fold with lots of ways to use your adhesive. That was the whole idea right there. All right, there you go. So any questions about your adhesive or any tips that you want to share? Because many of you are demonstrators who are watching, I noticed. So if you have something else to share, please let us know. Or if you have questions, and I will come back and answer them either on Facebook or on YouTube. So those are the different types of adhesive, and they really do each work in a different way and for a specific purpose. So yes, you need them all. You do need them all. You can shop here at Creative Juice by Lonnie for any of these products that we've used today, and you will receive a tutorial with 37 different projects in February. Each month that you order more than $50 in my store, then you receive those tutorials for free, as well as a thank you card from me if you are in the US. If you're in the Netherlands, you can go shop with Inika. I believe that's where she's from. So find your local demonstrator and support them, because we love to be able to share ideas with you, but your purchases help us to continue doing that. And all right, I don't see nobody had any other questions or tips about adhesive. Then we will meet you back here next Monday. Today is the final day to subscribe for the February Paper Pumpkin Kit. You can choose Lonnie Spendlove as your demonstrator if you are in the US. So you'll get a kit of 9 cards, garden themed, beautiful. If you love tulips, then this is the time to get it, because it looks like there's going to be some pretty tulips in it. So that will, Inika, you'd rather have somebody order from you though. So, reach out to Inika if you need to. She doesn't have to make her own minimums. All right, I think that's it for today. We'll talk to you next Monday. Have a beautiful day and go make something beautiful to share with somebody that you love. See you later.